Well, hello and welcome to this Halo, the Fall of Reach book review. Okay, if you told me a year ago I was gonna do a book review, yeah, I wouldn't have believed you because, well, I'm gonna be honest. I think I've, like, in my whole life, like, completed 2 books, 3 books. This is my 4th, so yeah, please cut me some slack. I'm not a book reviewer or like even a book reader normally, but I just don't know where to start. I was thinking I have to write some things down, but I'm like, no, I want to do this spontaneously. Say the things that come to mind. I'm gonna try and do it in a good, like, pace, you know what I mean? So yeah, let's just jump right into it. First of all, before I started reading, I was like, okay, it's the origin story of Master Chief. So I was like, okay, it's gonna start a bit slower, build up to some, like, huge thing that happened. Well, no! Like, the first thing you read is like a big battle, and I was like, what is happening? Wait, we're just straight into the action. I was like, damn, if this is the pace of the book, I'm gonna be like, every single page is gonna be explosions, flipping cool shit, you know what I mean? But yeah, that's not the case. So after the introduction, you know, the introduction battle, you go way back when John was a little kid. Actually, you're just gonna kidnap him. Yeah, and replace him with a clone. So yeah, that's actually pretty dark. Oh yeah, by the way, if I didn't understand some things correctly, you can always leave a comment and tell me what the right thing is. So yeah, I'm just gonna tell you how I experienced it. So I was saying, you kidnap John actually with Captain Keys. Yeah, I'm gonna call him Captain. I know he's not Captain yet when you take John away. And with Dr. Halsey, I think it's pronounced. Actually a pretty interesting story with those two as well. When they were looking at John on the playground, because that's where you, like, first see him in the book. Actually, Captain Keys is, like, very, like, how do you say it, like, uncomfortable around her because she's just a normal human. And I find that pretty weird. The conversation they had was a bit, like, awkward. But so, you take John away and he starts his big journey to become a Spartan. It was a weird trip because a lot of Spartans die or, like, get injured pretty badly because they just test stuff on them to gain muscle, to gain speed, stuff like that. But a lot of Spartans, like, well, I call them Spartans, but they're not Spartans yet. But a lot of people, like, react badly to it and you know, they just fall off like that. So yeah, like I said, it's pretty dark, the road to becoming a Spartan. And the way they are trained, like, the very first mission I can remember, well, is it the very first? I think it was the very first. There was, like, another Spartan, you read about him, you knew him. So you were like, okay, I'm comfortable with this person. And well, in that mission, Master Chief just leaves him to die and to complete the mission. I completely understand that, but the way he does it, like, he can just forget about his friends and go on for the mission. It was said a few times in this book how you have to go for the mission and don't think about, like, the lives you are losing. And he does it like a real leader. Like, I was impressed by that. When I was reading, I was like, no, why? Don't let him die, please. But yeah, you already knew, like, yeah, he was gonna die. And what I thought was interesting, you go from Master Chief's story to Keys' story. So you see Captain Keys build his reputation and go up in ranks as well, which is very cool. Sometimes there was, like, one battle where like Master Chief was fighting on the ground and Captain Keys was, like, fighting in space. And it was very cool to see different stories develop, but at the same time. So you're like, oh yeah, in space now Captain Keys is doing this. So it's very cool how they brought that to the reader. Like I said, I haven't got any experience of reading books, so yeah, I just thought this delivery was so good. Before going into this, I was like, oh, I'm not gonna get everything that the book tells me. Yeah, that's not the case. I understood every single thing, and even like English isn't my first language, and I still understood it like very, very well. It was very easy to read actually for a Halo story. So I was very, very glad with that. And well, I knew Captain Keyes from Combat Evolved, of course, where he dies. But I never actually knew him like this. And I definitely never thought like that space battles could be so epic in a book, like just reading about it. I was completely invested in the space battles with Captain Keyes. Damn, I was reading, I had to go to sleep because I had to go to work the next day, but I was like, no, I want to know what's happening, you know. I was just like, come on, let's see what you got. And the way they were like communicating on the bridge and planning the attack, it was like I was there. It was very clear and exciting, and the way Captain Keyes navigates his ship into a Covenant ship, that was amazing. Hell yeah, more stuff like that, please. Now I'm just picking stories and telling you about them. But besides the stories of Captain Keyes and Master Chief, sometimes you have like smaller stories about, the one that comes to mind is, oh, I forgot his name. Well, it doesn't matter. It's a dude in a remote location, you know, scanning for Covenant ships or other dangers, you know what I mean? I'm like, why am I reading his story? It's just like not really bringing anything to the story. But then, you know, a few moments later, he joins the crew of Captain Keyes, and it's actually a pretty cool introduction of a character, because you're like, why am I reading about him? Maybe it's just information how the Covenant ships move or something like that. I was like, okay. But it's very, very well done. I really enjoyed it. And then, you know, you build up to the very last of the book, where Halo falls. It was a pretty weird moment because I didn't have a feeling they had lost. It was like they lost Reach, but I felt accomplished with the mission with Master Chief. Well, he accomplished his mission. You know, Reach had fallen, so I had a very weird feeling of accomplishment. So yeah, there was, like I said, I have never felt something like this reading a book. But it was so goddamn good. The end was very satisfying. Although they had lost Reach, it was a very satisfying ending. And oh yeah, of course, how do I forget the first meeting between Master Chief and Cortana? How do I forget that? It was like the most beautiful moment, how they just clicked. It's very cool how Cortana slipped into the story, actually. And I didn't know Cortana came from Dr. Halsey. I can't really remember how they explained it in detail, but actually Cortana is Dr. Halsey. At the base, Cortana is Dr. Halsey. That's cool. I wasn't expecting that. But yeah, I wanted to keep this book review pretty short. I must have missed 1,000 things that I should tell you or had to tell you, but those were just my feelings, my thoughts on the book. I was so impressed. I gotta say, I was very, very impressed. And I was looking forward to it, although it's like 450 pages. I was like, oh, it's gonna take a while, but no, it didn't take a while. It was reading so nicely, and it just, you know, the pages just flew by, and I enjoyed it a lot. And now I'm thinking, damn, I missed so many things. But hey, I'm just gonna do it like this. I'm gonna upload it like this because those were my feelings. If you haven't read the book, just do it. Just don't think about it. Just do it. It's so good. So yeah, thank you very much for joining me. And I hope you enjoyed this review. This review is probably gonna be very messy, and I need a lot of editing, I think. Because there was a lot of silence in between the parts you saw. But yeah, this was a blast. This was a real blast. And oh, something came in the mail today. And yeah, this is next. This is next. The Flood. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let me know down in the comments. Please let me know what I can do better with this book review. When I review this book, because I had no clue how to do this. Hopefully you still enjoyed, and I hope to see you in the next book review or Halo video, or I don't know. But I will see you then. Thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe as always, and and I will see you in the next one. I haven't used this episode yet, so you'll get it now. There you go.